that emotions are an energy signature requiring a neurological program. So, in my opinion, emotions come from a more mystical element of ourselves, and they're a response to the world to help us develop and grow. So, when it comes down to how we channel that energy, we have to understand what it's trying to say, what it's asking us to do, and then it's up to us to make the decision of how we channel that energy. In regards to anxiety, it arises when there's stuff that needs to get done, whether preparing for an exam or preparing the lunches for school or making sure you put the garbage out, things like that. And when certain things get put off and we tend to get into a pattern of procrastination, what ends up happening is the anxiety builds up to the point of the day of things need to get done, and then it becomes overwhelming and we don't know how to deal with it. We kind of freeze. So as we go through life and we don't process the anxiety out and learning from that experience, what happens is we inherently invite more of other type of emotions related to anxiety into our field too. Nervousness, worry, apprehension, suspicion, so on and so forth. And so when we build up on all of this, we attract more of the same in terms of experiences in our lives. So it's important to make sure that we address anxiety as an emotion that's saying, hey, you need to get something done, you need to take off these things off the to-do list. The more we get this stuff done, the more we'll feel at peace and free. But doing so in a way that's balanced. As for depression, it's all about finding out, because it's part of the sadness family, what isn't working for you and why you're out of alignment. So when you are experiencing situational depression, it's important for you to find out what you need to do so that you can get back into balance again. And because when you don't, what ends up happening is there's a perpetual cycle of this isn't working out, there's more sadness, and then I'm more depressed, and then things don't work out, and greater sense of despair, and it just gets you into a cycle, and then you just keep experiencing emotions that bring you down. The point is to be letting go of what's not working for you, and that is how depression can be mitigated or at least ended. So when you find out what you're doing that's not working out for you and you seek the help that you need, then you can find out, oh, this is how I get back into flow again, and release the depression, not just from that time of your life, but from various other stages of your life, that you had been depressed, sad, forlorn, in despair, hopelessness, feeling forsaken, so on and so forth. So we want to get all of those emotions that you have not processed out in the past out, so that you can actually make way for what you really want to start projecting. what I do is the body code and subsidiary that emotion code, where we use the body to speak and find out what needs to be released in regards to anxiety or sadness. So if we need to release nervousness, or we need to release apprehension, or we need to release all of these types of emotions that you felt that are in excess of, let's say, 3 or 4 out of 10 on the feeling scale, that weren't processed right, and you didn't ask for the release. Once you address the needs, then we can release those, and all of the ones we can within a given period of time, and then that way you feel like you have really kind of flushed your field a little better. And then when you can get back to doing what works for you. And you can also do this for your children. And whether or not you do this, you try to learn how to do this on your own, or you request someone like myself to participate. With children, we can help release not only unhelpful anxiety or depression or sadness from them as they were growing up, we can also help release the ancestral stuff that was unprocessed, both from your parents or your grandparents and the rest of your family, and that breaks the line of the possibility of them attracting more of those sadness and fear-related emotions in their life. And we use the subconscious mind to provide yes and no answers to what emotion needs to be released. And then we actively ask the subconscious how much intention is going to be required to release it. When you do this for yourself and you do this for your children, you'll find the dynamics in the family become lighter, they're more relaxed, people are more open, more communicative, and the dynamic in the family seems to be more cohesive and harmonious. In regards to this year, this is a year that we are required to work on ourselves, as not just like we did last year where we look for the purging. It's a continuation of that, but it's so that we can become the empowered individuals that we wanted to be before we became human. So the essence of you that wanted to live this life already knows what the potential could be, but the problem is that we have a challenge of listening to it. And so by doing this work with me, releasing anxiety and states of depression or sadness-oriented emotions, we can then become more free to express and more aligned with who we are, so that we know how to respond to the world and feel comfortable in our own skin. It's a breakthrough year, and I would love to participate in being that person who helps you break through and to empower yourself. So remember, mental health is rooted in emotional health. And if your emotions have not been resolved, your mental health won't be resolved. So I look forward to talking with you soon, and please book time for a consultation to what needs to be let go, and I'll be happy to assist you and provide you insights that are important for you to know.